I've got Zach covering for me.
Okay, fantastic. Just cycle through.
And so now it's going to be second half of the meeting.
Okay.
I'm thinking this HDMI cable
Should work.
should work because we use airtime usually.
Yeah.
This one I think is hooked up to the TV here. So I'm gonna try and.
I'm gonna write down. We've got one full.
It works. You did it.
I don't know what I did, but it works.
That's fine.
Perfect.
The two air times are gonna be bold and left. I'm just gonna write those down real quick. And you should be good. Feel free to. That's good. Just wanted to go down.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Awesome. Nice job.
So I'm assuming that we.
Yep. Sorry.
Nope. Oh, good.
I'm gonna pull this.
Right? Scott knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
There you go. Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Going back
And thank you. I know it is.
It is.
Yeah. And let me just. I think it'll just be on one. I don't want to leave in the middle of the day. Maybe. Okay. So we'll work. So we'll just so awesome. Yeah, that was simple. And you're right after me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so feel free to see what you need, water, coffee, or anything. Okay, so yeah, so this is right. So just there's a water bottle.
And then I can plug in my device.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was this. Oh, if you want to have us
I just
meet
saw.
along the
Going to the labs. I'm plugging in the issue last.
Okay. Okay.
But I've been
Otherwise,
using
we
all
can
day.
just yeah, if you wanna like a little. Yeah. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, we can do this too. Yeah, that's perfect. And then.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Appreciate you. And thank you. It's like a young guy, so when they go into
She tends
this
to.
year.
It's probably.
Cheers.
That's why I'm like, I'm gonna do things that will happen.
I'm sure.
Yeah. No, but you also do. The water. Yeah. It's hard to do that. To get more information. Yeah. Okay, then that's out. No. Let's go. Yeah, we start. It's not changed. So you want to miss out. Like, yeah, well, that's like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh, no, I don't need to know extra. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, so I can see. I mean, just like distance. I only wear them for.
Good. Oh, you're in.
I work. Oh yeah. That's important. It's long. Yeah, but like, I mean, I can read this. It's just a little hazy. But like, if it's solid, that's black.
Yeah.
Like I can make out that it's
Yeah.
but I just switch.
Got Daryl all set up for his time, which is, I think it was right after compliance.
Okay.
And he can plug in using the HDMI cable. It'll
Is
go
he
to that
doing,
cable.
is that the MLS?
Yeah. Talking about aligned showings.
He's after,
These are after compliance.
Okay.
For,
This HDMI.
it'll go to our owl, but no, so we use.
Yeah.
so is this like this, okay, this is when I'm going and then you're going right after me.
Yep.
Okay. So, but we got quite a bit
Yeah. I can keep,
after him.
but yeah, he's gonna be about half hour. Just for timing.
We got a lot of stuff.
I know. I was thinking like, and I added a lot of stuff too, and I was like, oh man, I can go for my quick, but like, just Yeah. I was out of town last week, so you're supposed to be last week.
Okay,
And then,
we should get going. I'll gong it.
You and I. Are you team meeting? Nice.
Whoa! Who took the gong? How do you start a meeting without a gong? Is it Can you whistle?
I can't.
Do it. There's our gong. Someone stole our gong. So we're gonna get started. We have a jam-packed meeting today. And in case you guys are wondering, I'm not Diana. That joke, we'll get at least one laugh every time. And apparently the memo's out that I spit because Charisse is the bold one. If there's one person that I spit on more, it's Charisse. No, it's Charisse. Whatever it is. So you guys are very, very bold. I appreciate it. I'll stay over here.
We have the chart.
All right, we got a jam-packed meeting today, so we're gonna get rocking and rolling. And we do have our.
There's like music coming.
Unless you just want it in the background the whole time.
Let's do it.
Looks like Jagger stuff.
It's a feel-good mix. Rookie mistake. All right, so I'm gonna have full transparency here. So Diana asked me to lead this, and we have a mission moment, and she was just like, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. And I was like, and I kind of forgot what the mission moment was. So is anyone here that knows what it is?
Is there a slide for it or no?
That's a good. Let's see.
Sometimes it's slide.
Anna's gonna like fire me. It's gonna come to me when I'm sleeping tonight, or maybe before. So just as long as there's not a guest here that I'm, not allowing to talk, but I'll think of it maybe. So just to let you know, our offices are closed next Monday for Labor Day. So let's all try to enjoy a weekend. Don't make a listing go live and then say offers due 12 o'clock on Monday or whatever. Like, let's have a life here a little bit. Because of that, Tuesday, we will not have a team meeting. We will not have an office meeting on Tuesday to give you a little bit extra time. So one of my biggest fears in life, in case you guys are wondering, is pronouncing names. So I love that I get to pronounce names because my whole life, everyone pronounced my name wrong and it just makes me angry. So I don't want to make people angry. So if I pronounce a name wrong, I apologize. But we have 3 welcomes. So we have Carly Tatum. Is Carly here? Okay. And we got Alexandra Matthew. I hope that's how you pronounce her name because she's on my team. And Marcus Olisek. My last name is pronounced exactly like Santa Claus. So thank you for asking. It's always spelled wrong and pronounced wrong. So round of applause. We got more people. So we got Zachary Parnt, McKenna Skirhut, I believe. Austin Miller. I mean, we got you're Mueller, and Wyatt Smith joining the Schmidt group. So more round of applause. He'll change his last name. It's close to Schmidt. So we have some shifts going on within our current people. So excited roles, changes, things. Great. We have, I don't know how to pronounce Carly's last name. Zamansky. Carly is admin with How's it? Shemansky? Okay.
No, yeah. Come on.
I know, just, I'm not afraid of a lot, but that is a fear. So she is admin with Alex and All in Real Estate. So congrats, you guys are actually still sitting by each other, so that's good news. Jessica Krickenberg is now admin with Krickenberg Group. And Karen Nemeth has joined CGR Chris Ruskowitz as her operations manager. This is people helping people. I love it. I don't know if we can make an announcement yet, but I saw it on Facebook, so it's official. It'll probably be next week's. No, we don't have a meeting next week. That was a test. But Taylor has joined Nate Engels or Engels Realty Group. So for us, watch it's the next slide. Totally dumb. All right. So we got Tanya with her first closing at KW Walker Southwest. So this is a quick little story, as I used to be the announcer for the New Berlin Eisenhower basketball team, the varsity games, and I loved it. It was like NBA Jam meets high school basketball, and I would just ham it up. But then one day they had youth night at halftime, and they're like, "Oh, you got to announce basically 320 kids' names, and half of them are Polish." And I'm just like sweating. It was probably one of the worst moments of my life. Because it went to the point where I go to the coach before the game, the opposite coach would be like, "Okay, how do I pronounce this? How do I pronounce this? How do I pronounce it?" I would like drill it, because I didn't want to pronounce the name wrong. So I appreciate all these names. I just love it. So we have Tech Tuesday, and I believe we have Lindsay in the cyber world.
I am on Zoom. Can you hear me?
My goodness, how that worked. A little louder, or maybe I can do it on my end.
Okay, I'll try and talk loud. And I also don't see my slides, but that's okay because I have them up. But just FYI.
All right. We're ready to rock.
Okay. All right, you guys. So you have probably heard Kathleen and I talking about the new ads experience, the new paid ad experience in Command. And we've done some in-person trainings at every single market center, but I wanted to highlight just a few of the new features that are a part of that, that applet in Command. And correct me if I can't see my slides, so I'm not sure if you, as you go through them, so I want to make sure that I'm talking to the right slides. So just correct me if if it's off.
Okay. I'm gonna click this one quick and then you can share. We need a lot of help here. All right. So it's about the paid ads in Command.
Okay, so my next slide. So you can not only launch paid ads on Instagram and Facebook, but you also can display these on the Google Display Network, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. But you can generate leads with single image, multi-image, and multi-listing ads on Facebook and Instagram. The great thing about these new ad campaigns is that you can integrate AI to instantly generate high performing headlines and descriptions for your ad campaigns. And I can kind of see it in the background, so I don't want to talk like without the slide. Oh, yay! Okay, now we can see him on Zoom. Okay.
All right, sorry about that. That's a rookie mistake. Again,
right.
number 2.
So as I said, you can launch these campaigns on Google, Facebook, and Instagram. You can generate leads with a whole bunch of different ad options. But basically the entire interface got changed. And so that screenshot on there is going to show you the 12 different ad campaign types that you can create. And essentially there are going to be 2 different ad campaign types. So you'll actually go back one slide. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, I apologize. I am just trying to make your life hard. This one?
Okay, yeah, perfect. So there's lead capture ads. So these are very similar to what was already in there. It utilizes Facebook's lead capture form to capture those leads and then automatically funnel them into your command database. So that's still available, but then you also have these traffic ads. So that really just relies on the destination website or the landing page to then capture those leads. And so these traffic ads, they're going to display on the Google Display Network. So this is really exciting. This helps you reach people as they browse millions of different websites, apps, and Google-owned sites such as YouTube or Gmail. So it's a really effortless way to broaden your customer base, and you're reaching people at all different stages of the buying cycle. So that's a really exciting update, and just a great opportunity to advertise your listings, your open houses, and really just brand awareness as well for your business. So next slide. As I mentioned, you can now use AI to write your headlines and your description for these ad campaigns. When you're in those text boxes, there's this little like magic wand icon that you can click on, and then you can click on suggest with AI, and it's going to auto-populate or repopulate some new text. So you can do that as many times as you want. And the other really cool thing is that you can change the style. So if you want to make it sound a little bit more emotional or caring or artistic, you have all of those options, as you can see on the screen, to kind of reformat that text. So that's really fun. And that's directly in there as part of the ad campaign.
You don't even have to be caring anymore. You can just do it for you. You can pretend. So now all the people that are 99 on the disc for D, you can write really caring ads. That's super cool.
Yep. And then finally, I think the last slide. Like always, you can track your results. So this is a screenshot of an ad that I ran. And something that's a little bit new and different is you now have the ability to edit the ad campaign. So when it's running, you can actually edit the campaign details if you need to, and you can also cancel the ad. So that's really nice. But then you can view the results, the clicks, the views, the leads, the cost per click, and the cost per lead, as well as the click-through rate. So you'll see I did not get any leads on my ad campaign, unfortunately. But that's where you can track your views and clicks and everything. And you can also see a live preview of your ad, and you'll be able to see that across different platforms as well. And so next slide, I think I'm just mentioning our trainings for this week. So just keep in mind, we did some in-person trainings on this topic, but Kathleen and I will be doing it on Zoom. I think September 14th. Sorry, guys, I don't have it on here, but I think that September 14th date on Thursday at 11 on Zoom, we will be doing this exact topic again, and it will be recorded. But this Thursday, August 31st, we're going to talk about how to get reviews and testimonials. So how to send people to different sites and platforms, how to grab links, best ways to send those links to your clients to get those reviews. And then next week, because of Labor Day, we're just going to do an open forum, ask us anything. So you can ask us some questions about the ads experience too at that time. Thanks, everyone.
Very cool. Thank you so much. Those are great updates. One thing back on this piece where here's the numbers and the metrics. When you get leads, it looks like the purpose of this ad was, I think it was going towards agents, or what was the purpose of that ad?
Yeah, so I took that and I kind of promoted our YouTube channel, and specifically the 5 and 5 videos that Will has been doing. So I took that. The link for Learn More is linking to our YouTube channel. So it was kind of more of a general like brand awareness for Keller Williams Milwaukee.
Okay, so when you always got to set the purpose of the ad that you're doing, and right here where it says cost per lead, and it has the area where you have the leads. If you click that, it's a clickable link usually, and it will take you to all of the leads, to the name, the number, the email. And you could, if there's 17 of them, you can just bulk set a tag for them. You can set it Facebook lead or whatever you want. You can organize them in a way that's very it's very slick to do with all this stuff. Like they're really working with Facebook directly on how to make command ads the best they can be. So these are really big updates. I appreciate it. Any questions for Lindsay? Okay, so the learning piece here that I am tasked for, and this is last week, if you guys remember, we still had the chairs here set up, kind of, but we had the mega camp panel. And one thing that I always am hyper focused on with conventions, because I've been to so many of them, is what am I going to take home? What am I going to actually do? Because you get really excited, you get all this energy in that, and then you're tired when you come home, and then you have kids or whatever, life happens, and you just kind of forget about it all. So taking a deep dive, what Keller Williams has started, I think, as of just last year, anyone that gets up on stage, they have to actually share what they're doing. They have to share the plan, they have to share their numbers, they have to share their system. And then KW International has a department that makes it look really nice. It puts it in a nice little, they call it a playbook. So anyone that spoke about anything has their own playbook on here. You know, when Gary's interviewing them on stage, they're not necessarily showing this, but everything that they talk about is written down. Does that make sense? So does anyone know how to access these? Zach?
So the one spot for it.
I think so.
You don't call it that anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, it would be. Yep.
I asked for it in the one spot and they said more to, this is the resource where we should be looking at it.
Okay.
That came from, that's what Diana told me.
Okay. And the other piece, because I don't want to, like, I'm not doing pretty good with the computer right now. I don't want to escape and go into my command and that. But if you write this down too, so that resource is always there. If you go into command, hopefully you know how to log into that. At the upper middle, there's a button called Connect, KW Connect, and Connect is YouTube for real estate. It has anything you want to search for, and thankfully KW has put a lot of time and effort. I think they hired someone to help with their search, because I don't know if you used to search on Connect, but it gave you like the exact opposite of what you wanted. I'd be like Gary Keller mega camp slides, and it would show me like 6 personal perspectives from Tony G and Greco, and I was like, what? How? So now, if you go to Connect and you type in their mega camp 2023, or you go to this, you can do either or, but anything you search for, you'll be able to find. So can someone just give me one of their, other than your sphere, your database, what is a lead gen? I call it a lead gen lever, because you're pulling a lever to get leads. What is something that someone is focused on as a way to generate leads?
Open house.
The open houses. Do you think they have open houses playbooks in this setup, or do you think open houses was left out?
No, they got it in.
Let's see. Well, this one says be a human and be online. Oh, being a human still matters. But I think the way that Mega Camp works too is Gary will interview 2 or 3 people at the top of their game in a certain lead gen area. So the people getting back to open house basics. So this one is by Jordan Davis. She's out of Dallas. Probably sells 400 homes a year or so. She also leads the Boss Babes. Host a 7th level open house. Does anyone know what a 7th level open house is? So if you don't know what it is, go search and find the 7th level open house. Guess how many people in Milwaukee are hosting a 7th level open house, a true 7th level open house?
None.
Yeah, I tried it once. I mean, I did it once. So I bought 15 signs and I put them all over the street. And I did it was a condo complex of 21 units. I knocked all the doors the day before. I did a neighbor only preview, and from that one, I've listed one home this year, so give me some credit. That one home I listed, the one open house I did, just to say I could do it. One of the neighbors, I said, hey, I have a neighbor only preview. This home is listed for 505. And he said, if you can get on 2 offers for that price, call me. So I said, okay. So then open house happened. Some parents that I knew of kids that I used to coach basketball, they were walking the area and they saw Scott's Floss open house sign and they said, we just needed to come to see if it was actually you. So they came in and they said, we actually want to move here. Like, this is where we want to move to in probably the next year. I was like, okay, if that wouldn't have happened without 15 signs. And then I ended up getting 2 over asking offers. One was 530, one was 520. So I went back to the other guy and I said, hey, I got it. 2 over asking offers, cash, no appraisal, no inspection, and set up a 1 party. And those buyers who were the most heartbroken buyers on earth, you know what they said when I hand gifted them this off-market property? You know what they said? No, I wish they said that.
They said, oh, we're not.
They said, oh, there's too much work. And I said, okay, good luck out in the wild. You can fix a kitchen like that. They wanted that location, whatever. So anyways, my point is, whatever you want to do, it's here. So I'm coaching Alexandria and Harrison. They're 2 new agents to our team. And where do you think I go to help them with strategies? I go to these. One is on farming, and I was like, let's see what the latest on farming is. And I was like, oh, these are super good ideas. He's not going to have someone up on stage in a company that has 180,000 agents that isn't at the top of their game, and they're just gifting their playbook to you. So I would just really encourage you that whatever you want to do, spend some downtime getting that plan, thinking outside the box. Soon the interviews will be on there and you'll be able to hear them and talk to them and be the person in Milwaukee that's doing what the person in Dallas is doing. And it might be normal there, but it will blow real estate in Milwaukee out of the water, if that makes sense. That would be my advice. Any questions on this? Cool. Covered it.
I will say, I don't think all of those playbooks were in, the Mega Camp 2023 when I looked at it like a couple of days.
Okay. And I would get used to going into Connect. Has anyone who's logged into Connect in the last 2 weeks? So a good amount of people. And it's literally, I mean, you could not sell real estate and just watch Connect videos for 20 hours a day if you chose. I wouldn't recommend it, but there is so much material in there. So you got to have that steady blend of learning and then doing. But if you go into Connect, I promise you all of those are in there. So these are just examples. The profitable agents, how to engage people through your database on Facebook. And then what they did this year, Jason Abrams is the director of innovation for KW. Now, if I had one title on earth, I would want to be called the director of innovation. I just think that sounds awesome. But he's tasked to just stay on top of the latest and greatest. So his job entails just interviewing agents, meeting with them, seeing what the best practices are. And we've heard of the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, I hope. His idea was to make a playbook around it. And so it's a Millionaire Real Estate Agent playbook that has all of these systems. You can purchase it for $20 and it comes bound like this, or you can go to Connect and print it for free and then either bind it yourself or just not bind it, whatever you want to do. Just do the 3-hole punch. But I would highly encourage you to start thinking about playbooks. Start thinking about real estate is a numbers game. Real estate is a formula. For every 50 homes that you mail once a month, do you know how many homes a year you should sell based on 40 years of research?
2.
Close. One. So the formula is if you have a farm, meaning a geographic location that you want to master, and there is 200 homes in it, you could expect after that, just by mailing it once a month, to have 4 sales a year in that subdivision. Which it may not sound like a lot, but you're gonna pick your subdivision. It's probably gonna be a higher sales price. They're gonna be listings, and then those people probably have to move somewhere. So you might have 6 to 8 sales just by mailing 200 homes a year. Like that's I would do that all day. So whatever it is, there's a playbook to it, and just start thinking of it from a numbered standpoint like that. And now we have Dawn,
Defender
the
Don.
defender.
Also getting new headshots, farm is a nice job, so.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, and I hate having my picture taken. So sometimes people call or text me or Sarah or Lisa Packard or James directly. We have a phone number. So if it's not saved in your phone, please take your phone out right now and save it. This is the compliance number. You're always going to get who's on call. It's better to text this number than it is to email somebody who may not be on call that day, just because we're going to be faster at getting back to you. I know if it's not my day, if it's not related to a current transaction or a lead, I'm not as quick to get back to it as the days when I'm on call. Yeah, question.
I just have a question. So when we need to get signatures for like a referral,
Sarah Pap.
just
Send it to sarah@sarahpap.com. She's
Okay.
very quick on her email.
Okay.
So you don't even need to, if you send her a referral form, she's on it. So,
Send it by DocuSign, don't send her the.
yeah, just send it, add her to the DocuSign room. Yep, but for any compliance related questions, just call or text that number. So not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, somebody's on call. So you'll always get somebody who's on call. A couple of reminders, we've run into some issues recently with procuring cause. So just make sure when you start working with a buyer, find out if they've been looking at homes with other agents. Ask them if they've signed anything. Just make sure you get those questions out of the way before you guys get in too deep with anything. If you're somebody who gets leads online, confirm whether the buyer is working with another agent as well, because we've had some issues where someone shows a house, but they write an offer with someone else. Was the question ever asked are you working with somebody else? And setting your buyer's expectations up front as they're browsing. If someone is looking on a website that is public, sometimes it'll say request a tour as early as this time. And so we've even run into some of our buyer clients who are like, no, Zillow says that I can go see it at 3 today. So they'll go and they'll click the button. There's a whole drop down. They can pick what time they want to request, and then they'll get an agent at that time. So some buyers don't understand that, it's the same, their information is going to be going to a buyer's agent who's going to be making a request for showing time at the same time. Sometimes we're hearing from buyers that, well, it said that it's available at that time, so why can't I get in? You can't show it to me so I can get in with this person at 2 o'clock. And that's kind of the cause of some of our procuring cause issues that we've seen recently. So just have that conversation up front when you're meeting with a buyer that they may see some times available, but you're the one to contact if they want to see a property. Any questions about that?
I was just gonna say, we had a listing that wasn't even, the showings weren't starting till like 4 o'clock, and
Yep.
there were people showing up.
Yep.
Because they did this.
And they thought
outside of our control, and our sellers were like, what's going on?
Mhm.
There's people like out in front, so yeah, we did explain to them that this is not how you go out to get a showing.
no,
Yeah.
no, and don't show up at the door of a house
Yeah.
either. So having that conversation up front will hopefully prevent some future issues as well. And then just a reminder, some of you guys may have heard about what's happening with RE/MAX Realty Pros. We're not going to get into the details of the nitty gritty, but just remember too that I would hate to be in that situation if I were them right now. If you are in a transaction with somebody from a RE/MAX Realty Pros, from the RE/MAX Realty Pros office, and they need somewhere to work, or they need our office is open, no strings attached. They can come hang out here. But if you are writing an offer on a listing just from RE/MAX Realty Pros, the other side, don't have them hold earnest money. have KW hold it. Sarah sent an email out about this last night. And if you are in a transaction currently with an agent from Remax Realty Pros, email Sarah with the property address and closing date. We just want to make sure we're staying in front of any potential issues that might come up. And if you have questions about that, we could talk about it after. And then if there's no other questions, I'll introduce Darnell. He's joining us from MLS today. Some of you guys might have been on the town hall about aligned showings, which is going to be replacing showing time. But Darnell is going to come give us a preview of aligned showings. And apologies to anybody who's on Zoom, because I don't think you're going to be able to see the slides and info. But we're going to change it over for Darnell to be able to share his screen.
Thank you for the introduction. I'm gonna try to get this working for you.
Apologies, guys. It's just on this screen.
Sorry.
So,
my name's, thank you again. My name's Darnell Wilkes. I'm from Metro MLS. I was a teacher before this, so this is a huge change. It was 16 years of teaching. What I like to say about that is that the room filled in just like it does in a classroom on a back foot, right? So that was pretty cool to see. 6 of those years I was a dean, so I dealt with all parents and behavior issues. So I'm kind of a disciplinarian. I'm also a head out right now. So this is pretty cool. This is a huge change for me. I've been with the MLS for about 1.5 years. And speaking of change, there is going to be a change in our showing system and our scheduling platform. So Aligned Showings is our platform that we come up with, and the reason why is because Zillow bought ShowingTime, right? So as the MLS, we can't support another broker's product over another broker, so we had to come up with our own product, which is Aligned Showing. It was Agent Inbox at one point in time, and Agent Inbox had the meat and potatoes. It was a dormant product, so we decided to purchase it and all of the Aligned Showings. And with that dormant product, we added the bells and whistles. So as I go through this, think of the bells and the whistles that we have. Also think about the 2 products, right? ShowingTime's had a 15-year head start, right? This is our platform that we're playing catch up, right? But this is needed for our industry. So make sure you look at it. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can log on, all right, and log into the product. qa.alignedshowings.com. You can follow along. Okay, qa.alignedshowings.com. Just want to make. I know there's going to be a bunch of questions. There's some questions that I can answer. There's some questions that I can't. I'm not the, nor am I the product. I'm not building the product, right? So I'm just going to show you the functionality. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. All right, so Aligned Showings. We talked about it. Schedule and made easy. Right? Bing. How am I going to get there? The same way you get in the ShowingTime, right? Under this details tab here, where there's ShowingTime right now, right? There's going to be Aligned Showings. Aligned Showings will be coming out November-ish, September-ish. I can't give you the actual date. However, it's going to function just like it functions now and how to get into it. So you can log into it that way. They're going to run parallel for a while, and then ShowingTime is going to drop off. Okay. I'm going to go to Aligned Showings. This is our desktop view. So this is when you're sitting at your computer, which most of you probably don't. You have a cell phone that you're always on, right? Always on the go. This is what it looks like. Our mobile app is pretty much the same. Obviously, we couldn't get the desktop view on there. However, it's in a list view, and all I have to do is go to the week view so you can see it. All right, so it'll kind of look like this on your device. Day view, custom view. We can change those views in this from date to date. I'm gonna go kind of slow because I have enough time. So I'm not gonna go as fast as I did in the town hall. That went fast. All right. And if you have any questions as we go, just ask. Okay. So just kind of looking at this, to the right is our calendar. If I click on one of these showings, It'll open up a little box. That box gives us all the information on that showing, the time. I'm gonna go down here to more details. As I open that appointment, you can see the details of the property. You can also see the view and calendar, which we're in, view and messages. So that'll go into messages. That's another component of this. View listings, that takes you back into Flex. And then showing date and time, instructions, and our seller. Just up here to the right, I can add this appointment to our calendar, Google or Outlook. Okay. Clicking on contacts as the contact for this listing. And then it also has the listing history. So the appointment history. So anytime there's a change, the appointment history is saved within Align Showing. So what we like to say is that you're keeping your personal life and your business life separate. That's what this is. Just to our left, these are filters. So if it gets a little bit too crowded here, I can take out one of these appointments. So if all the approved appointments is getting a little clustered, I can remove those. They're all colored. When I'm searching by address or agent, remember when you search, you're searching just the desktop. So you're searching it. To the left here, these are all of our navigation. This is our navigation menu. We're in the calendar. Routes is kind of like in showing time, kind of like showing cart. This is our version of that. My listings is where you would set up your listing. Our alerts, we've got some work to do in our alerts. Right now, it just gives you a little red pop-up that you have something that's changed in the system. Our reports, yes, sir.
Would have a quicker, like, direct feed for the My Listings. Right now, we're waiting anywhere from 5 to 20 days.
Right now, I believe it's 3 minutes
For light showings.
for line showings.
That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Put the listing in, you got people requesting them, you can't even get the instructions into that.
3 minutes.
All right.
Yep. And hopefully we'll get it faster.
Darnell, another question relates to that.
Yes.
So we're setting up the showing information for a listing.
Yes.
Can we go in on our listing in MLS and then find it this way?
You will go in the line showing to set it up.
Oh.
But
Yes.
it'll go up.
It'll show up because in Flex, so all your listings will be pulled from Flex, right? So then you'll set up your listing in the line.
Will there currently or in the future be functionality to enter information in prior to the listing actually going live when it is an incomplete listing?
That's something that we can work on.
That would be awesome.
That would be
great.
absolutely. Put that in the suggestion box, please.
Oh, do I have a scribe here, by the way? Anybody?
I'll respond to our emails.
Awesome.
And the reason why too, like, we can publish a listing, let's say it's 6 p.m. on Wednesday. So maybe it's not even showings that night, but they're gonna start tomorrow, but we want to do it at a specific time for whatever the reason. We can easily publish it, but we don't want to sit there and have to then do the instructions 20 minutes later.
Correct.
While we're at a kid's meeting or wherever we're doing whatever we're doing. So if they were all added in there, that would be a game changer.
So what's cool about this is that all of these questions and all the feedback we get, right? The person that's in charge of this is next door, right? So we couldn't get that. We're showing that. So I talked to him. He puts it on his to-do list, and then if that is at the top of his to-do list, then we enter. That's the cool thing about all. So our reports, something to work on as well. And the reason why is because we're not using the product right. Our messages is a big component, again, keeping your business and personal life separate. Contacts just in your firm. And as we move on, how to add a showing as well. I'm going to just go all the way to the bottom and go into our settings, right? So I'm impersonating someone right now. That's not me. But just to let you know. And this is in Arizona. So Arizona is going to be coming out here September 19th. So we're already in Utah. We're in Silicon Valley. We're going to be in Arizona. We're also going to be in New Mexico before it rolls out here. So all those bugs and kinks will be out. Hopefully before you get here, you won't be the guinea pigs, by the way. All right. All of your information will be pulled in from Flex. These are notification preferences. Make sure your address is correct and a mobile number. So you get emails and you receive text messages. In QA, if you go into QA, you won't be able to receive emails or text messages, right? Mess anything up. So I'm in QA and kind of sucks that I don't get these messages, but I get why. Right? Always click save here at the bottom. You'll have a little pop-up. Profile will be saved, and it's thinking, right? So continue to think. Continue to think. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. It's moving. Yep. Kind of thinks like me, right? A little bit slower. And that's it for our profile. I'm going to go to our system. Team members, right? We have teams here in Wisconsin, so we took that into account. So if you have Starlight, Starbright as your team in Flex, that will be pulled from Flex, so you don't have to re-add. So right now, this is where you would add a team member. Just click an add and start typing. Here I can add any of my team members. I can notify them of the request or not. So just a preference. Cancel. Leave. So if you were on the call, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I love the Cowboys. There we go.
I heard that.
Why did you admit that?
Because hey, in 2011, I moved here from Texas, and
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I'm
Forgiven.
from Texas.
You're forgiven.
But here, everybody that I know, like, the houses were green. I'm like, what the heck? So if you're gonna be a homer, I'm gonna be a homer too. So everything I do is about the Cowboys. This is our surveys right here. So you can create your own custom survey. As you can see, Deion Sanders, single family, Dak Prescott, condominium, right? Micah Irvin, Troy Aikman. I can go on and on if you want me to. But just up here at the top, if I click new survey, so this is where you would add your survey, right? So I put my survey name, put my question right here. These are options. So again, my teaching brain, right? So I get to do this daily. I'm talking to Chris Lambro, who is the lead here. And I don't understand what the hell options in text mean. And he was like, well, it means multiple choice. Option. Why don't you put multiple choice? Right? Like, if that's what it means, do it. Text means open-ended question. All right, put open-ended question so people will actually understand what we're doing. So that's going to be changed. I don't know when, but it will be changed before we get in the market. So this, if you're looking at this, that's what those mean. Kind of stinks that he didn't do it before, but that's what it means anyway. If I go into one of these, I'll go into Deion Sanders, my favorite player. You can see I've kind of created it for you. What's your overall impression at home? Good, okay, bad, and so on. So this is where those are saved. I'm going to go into my listings. Right? So this is the cube view. We can change the view of my listings to a list view. And you can see this dude has some pretty expensive homes. Holy crud. Wow. I do like to use him because he has a lot of homes here. And I'm going to find a specific one that I always use. All right. Yep. $2 million property, right? I'm going to, right. So listing setup, this is a 5-step process for us. All right. We can click on the edit button, or we can just go to edit details, and it'll just take us through these. This is how you would add your listing into Align Showings. Allow the property to be shown. Absolutely. Allow overlapping appointments. Obviously, that's a preference. You can set the maximum appointment length. Right now, we have 60 minutes, right? Not sure if that's something that needs to be changed. When I was in Lake Country, they were like, we need an hour and 30 minutes. Like, okay, well, we'll get that too, right?
I have a question on that though.
Yes.
Can we default it to like 30 minutes and
You can default it to 30 minutes. Absolutely. So when
right now it always reverts to 60.
you can default it to whatever you want for this particular listing. So you'd have to go and do that to each listing. Yes.
You can log something showing time doesn't do that's annoying. You can log any kind of inspection. You could log anything. A lot of descriptions. Well, you can't put open house. So like we'll do an open house, and let's say it's 2 hours. Your maximum appointment length is 30 minutes. 60 minutes. You get open house in the buyer. It'd be nice if we could actually schedule an open house. It's labeled open houses for 2 hours.
Awesome. Got it. The one thing that I can say is in our messages, you can type in anything and everything. So you can type in team messages, you can type message agent to agent. So that might be something right now that we'll look for it in the future. However, you can use messages to do that. We're good. Instant approval. What does that sound like to you guys? There you go. All right. So we've got it. Yes.
I just have a quick question about your messages.
Mhm.
So you get capped off at a certain number of like number or letters in
No
showing
cap.
time.
No cap.
So then you're like 5 messages later trying to get like one little thing across that you guys are going to cap off.
No
the,
cap.
Okay.
Yeah. All good.
Good point.
Yeah.
We're
That's
actually
just
trying to figure
really
out.
annoying to say.
We're actually trying to figure out when to stop. We're actually trying to figure out when is the best time to stop. Like all of this as far as like saving everything, because everything's saved in our show. There's no cutoff. So once we get into it, we're gonna have to start moving things to different folders. So that's what we're trying to figure out now.
But for right now, you're not capping.
We're not
the number
capping.
of letters you can use.
No. Okay. Instant message to agent. So this is an opportunity to speak to the agent beforehand when you request. Lockbox access, we've got electronic, we've got combo. You can type in the combination here as well. And again, all of this stuff will be saved and you'll see as we go. Our Lockbox brand, obviously we know something might change, but these are the ones that we have. Showing arrangement, who will accompany, request a callback, any additional instructions to send after approval. I put please turn off the lights. We also have advanced notice duration. So this is clickable and draggable, right? And they are both words. I found that. I looked it up. I can say it. One draggable. So advanced notice. So if you have a seller or tenant that's in the property and they need 3 hours, 2 hours to get the property ready for a showing. So that's where you would do that. You would click done. That's the first step. The second step is to add any team members that you would like. That's the second step. Any kind of office involvement, maybe I'm out of town and I need to give it to someone else. So this is where you would do that for this particular list.
Right now, I just have another quick related to this. When we're setting up our profile of the agent, I'm talking about teams. So you have your head, person on the team.
Yes.
Can they preset all the team members? So you just do once and it applies to all the listings?
At the beginning of when you do it in the system settings, that's
Okay.
for your entire team.
Okay.
So that's for every one of those listings from that point on.
Okay.
Like,
Excellent.
so this is just an individual list.
So along with that, super notification, you have a team of agents and they all say like they want to page this. And a listing goes in. They have to be on the listing set up in order to get the notification.
Get those get those notifications. So
So they wouldn't just get like other agents.
no, just only if you set them up with your list. Any team instructors. The good thing about team instructions is they're separate. So when we put messages, I'll show you, but your team instructions, you can talk as a team without any other agent being in that conversation as well. A seller tenant involvement. Again, I am a Cowboys fan. This is Emmitt Smith. This is my seller tenant. All right. Can approve showings? Absolutely. Can get notifications only. You get to set those preferences or not. Right. You get to set those. If they can approve, I'll show you what it looks like. You give them an opportunity of approving or declining and making any kind of changes to that listing. So that's what you're giving them. They are separate from being in Aligned Showings. They have their own website. That was for safety reasons as well.
They're on the app.
Not an app, it's just a website. They'll be able to click on a link and it'll take them to their own website. Time and date restrictions. Obviously you guys know that. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
They've all good.
So when they are receiving requests, is it as easy as time just reply why to approve and to decline?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get into it and I'll show you how that's done. Any kind of time and date restrictions you can add. I have a few here, but you can add each day if you want to. It can be recurring on every Sunday. And then if you want the different times, you can add times here as well. I believe this one is capped at 8. There is a cap somewhere. I'll click done. The last thing is our feedback survey. We have a default survey and it's 5 questions, simple questions. We also have it where you can use one of my surveys if you would like. That was a way, right? You can use that if you want to. I can share it with you if you need. Okay. Just don't rename it as a Packer player. Okay. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So this is where you have that. You can see I can pick my survey, or I can go here and set as a default survey and it'll go out. So our surveys go out an hour after the showing is complete. It only goes out once and then it goes out. If it's not done, there's one reminder. We've been asked to do more than one. However, right now, I just got some spam on my email from that as well. So spam thing. We can change it if need be. And if there's enough people that want it, we can change that. And that's all for your listing setup. So I know you guys wanted to see how to add a showing, right? That's the fun part. The rest of this stuff is busy work. That's going to get you money though. Here we go. Let's go to add a showing. It'll take you to a map. Again, I'm in Arizona just because, right? It'll take you to a map. You'll see all of the active listings here to the right. Up at the top, you'll see where you have to schedule a showing. Unless you click on a property, it won't schedule a showing. Okay. I'm going to click, I'm going here and I'm going to add a property, which I use all the time. So I'm searching here at the top left, click the search button. I'm going to click on that and you'll see the schedule showing to pop up. Okay. So I'm going to go back to this. When you are in Flex, you pick a property, you come to here, you click showing time, right? So from here, you click in align showing. When you click align showings, this is the first thing that will pop up. So most of you will see this first. So I went back to move forward. All right. Did I do that right? Okay. So the select showing date will pop up. So we can click on that showing date. Let's try today. You have the information of the property here to the left, right? You'll see the notice at the bottom, advance notice of 3 hours. You'll see that. All right. I'm going to click next. You can see this shows up in red. The reason why is because I have that advance notice here to the right. So I'll be unavailable to schedule a showing during that time. It's illuminating, so I can click on it and drag. I do have allow overlapping appointments, and you can see this is how you overlap those appointments, so you can actually do that. All right. You can go here to this 30 minutes, open it up, and I can change the time of that showing. I click next, review and send. So if there's a message that I want to send out, this is optional. I review the time and date. I'm looking at is August 29th, 2:40 to 3:40. Advance notice, we're all good. I click send. From here, it takes you to your messages, right? So this is where all those questions about how do we do this, how do we do that. Right now, we go to the messages and you can talk back and forth to anyone. You can create your own message here in the top right. If I click new message, if it's a personal message, I can enter the recipient. If it's a group message, enter those recipients and then our message.
You were picking your showing time on the
that would be seen by both, and the reason why is because that time's unavailable. Okay. So they'll know that that's an unavailable time to schedule that showing.
Whatever you type in there, you gotta make sure it's all the words.
Yes.
Okay. In this messaging center, is there a way to send a message to all? So if I'm a listing agent, I've got a listing, I want to send a message to all agents with scheduled showings.
Absolutely.
Showings, let them know offer.
5 o'clock, you've got to get that offer in,
exactly.
all right? Yeah. So that is in broadcast. Okay. I'm going to go back to show you that. So here, this is our broadcast button. So any approved or pending showings, when you click on that, that is a one-time send out, hey, get it done, get it in. And we only chose to do it one time. And the reason why, again, is because of this, right? There are people that use it correctly. There are people that don't use it. Right?
Does that go to previous showings?
It goes to anyone that has approved or anyone that has pending
So
show.
one thing with this exact setup.
And you can do both.
Showing time is nice. Like when you hit approve, then you can go through and unselect certain people.
Ah,
So that's a big feature. You might know if there's 3 people that for sure that you're not interested.
okay,
You don't want to, again, bombard.
awesome.
Send a duplicate message, so.
And that's something that we can look at.
Manually too.
Okay.
Like you can see your top, you can CC the code, CC, whoever.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Thanks for that.
When scheduling the showing,
Yes.
registering the buyer. Is that like, because right now in showing time, we actually have to put the buyer's name when we're requesting a showing.
And
And I did not see that anywhere on there, so I just didn't know if that was gonna be something.
That's something that we're
Okay, just wanted to know.
a little bit different.
I'm gonna also wanna know like how the buyer is represented, like, so again, in showing time. They're asking for whether or not you have an agency with the buyer or not.
Okay.
Like, are you in pre-agency or do you have a buyer agency? Are you representing the buyer? Is that something you guys are gonna put, or is it just?
As of right now, there's no, from what I understand, there's no reason for us to do that right now. But
Just curious.
that's something that can be talked about.
And just to piggyback that, it looks like right now there is no option to set what type of showing it is, whether it's a showing or appraisal or inspection or anything like that. It's just.
And we're moving into that direction.
Now you're
That's
just
in the
scheduling it
works.
and then use the messages to communicate.
Yes,
Or
Yeah.
ask the agents to use the messages to communicate.
Absolutely.
what they're showing.
absolutely.
Having those classifications is very important. And on the, you said allow duplicate showings, whatever, like, is there parameters around that? Like, right now we can change it only 2 of them. We have complete control of that since COVID.
Okay.
It'd be nice.
Okay.
Because there's some houses where it's maybe a small house, we want 6.
2 max 2 overlapping points at one time is a lot of time.
Having flexibility there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, real quick, and you said you don't have any buyers, is there a way to optionally do that, let's keep track of what, we're gonna have like 2 or 3 buyers I'm showing it the same day, remember, okay, it's Bob here, but Tim here. Is there a way to like label those showings or whatever?
The only way I can you do it is just do it in the messages.
I just think myself, there's something sometimes where maybe sure there's 50 houses, right, but. We get it. I want to just.
You can tell we have some passionate.
It's all good.
Darnell back.
Hey,
We can, I mean, also, I think this is a big enough change where you could come back specifically
Mhm.
around this topic.
Oh,
'Cause I mean,
would love
it's
to.
hard to get this much engagement out of them, you know, you're doing something right.
Hey Darnell,
Yeah.
does anybody tell you you look like Emmett Smith?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you like.
That was the biggest smile.
You're his doppelganger.
I
You're
get
his
him.
doppelganger.
I get him and Darius Rucker.
I see more Emmett Smith, but I get it.
That's
yeah.
fine. My face get a little fatter, so it's okay.
I was in Dallas and 2 people thought I was Jason Witten.
Yeah.
They like literally took their picture with me. I'm like, I'm not Jason Witten. And they're like, that's something Jason Witten would say. And I'm like, can I have your picture? I was like, sure.
There's a lot more here. I know we're running out of time. This is kind of the messaging component where we are. Just want to show you a couple slides before I go. This is kind of what we're hanging our hat on. So this is the new way of text messaging, right? This is what the old way looks like, right? In your phone where you don't have a picture and you don't have the information you need. And then the new text messages in the line showings. This is where we are and this is where we're going. Again, on the inside of this is kind of team notes, and you can see the color difference where you can talk freely back and forth. Our mobile device, this is kind of what it looks like. These pictures, we've graded the mobile device to look like the desktop as much as possible, although it's on a smaller scale. Here is just how the showings are approved and what it looks like in our messages. Again, there's a calendar view, what we went through, selecting a time and a duration. And then this is kind of what Chris Lamberossi, he's proud of, right? In Utah, 101,000 approved showings within a month, right? So there's 80% adoption in Utah right away within that first month as well. So again, this is our own product. It's homegrown. Yes, we're going to have some change and some growing pains, but we want to do this with you, and instead of not doing it with you, right? We don't want to be dictators. We want to be partners.
Do we have a date that we know that this will go live and then showing time will no longer be available?
I can't tell you for sure. I know November, December is what we're thinking, and then maybe 3 months to 6 months somewhere in there that overlapping. We've had people say just shut it off right now. We've had people that say no, I don't want it to go away. However, there's a need for it to go away at this point. Yes.
During time where there's overlap, will we have the ability to utilize both platforms, or are we going to be kind of structured that we can only use one?
You're going to be structured to use one. However, whatever you have in showing time is in showing time. You won't be allowed to put another one into showing time. It'll be only a line show.
Okay.
Well, thank you. I've got, you guys have like 2 or 3 minutes. I've got just a couple upcoming events that we can share, but this is a need, like he said multiple times. This isn't something that MLS is just trying to do. Like Zillow is a brokerage, and we can't promote another brokerage's material. So just a couple quick training and events. We will get the training calendar to you. And we're highlighting some. So next Wednesday, or sorry, this Wednesday, can you believe it's the end of August? Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we have Create Wealth with Profit Share. I see one really good looking face on there in the back of the room that's here too. Oh, did he leave? Darn it, he left. So if you're interested in learning about Profit Share, there were some changes in that recently that were voted, which we'll touch on when we have our next meeting too. We have Wind Down Wednesday, which is a very, very important thing that we got to do, but it looks like it's at Lake Country and Innovation. So tomorrow at 3. Next Thursday, we have an emergency food drive for the Milwaukee Homeless Veteran Initiative. So we'll send you this information. We always have recaps, obviously. But this is very important for a very, very good cause that Chris and Gary Ruskowitz are very passionate about and have done a lot of great things over the years with. So we'd love to partner with them and provide some food. The topic is building a brand for productivity coaching on Thursday. And September, we have these 2 coaching on Mondays. You guys will be there, right? Not this Monday. Every time we promote it, it's like not there. They'll be playing video games on Monday if you want to join them.
We had a good turnout yesterday.
In case you wanted to see them rearranged in different areas, we have the same slide. And then, oh, this is huge. So we've got a really, the KWYP chapter, it's insane what they've done in a little bit of time. Even since February, where they've come, I would love it if we could support them. It's September 8th and 9th. So I know there's a big day of training, and then they're going to do a boat ride and other fun stuff. But this is open to everyone, even Alex. So you guys can come and support, because they have the ability to win Launch of the Year with how much engagement they have gotten in such a short amount of time. 6th annual golf outing on September 20th with Nightberry, who is they co-partner with Focus Title and Keller Williams. Oh, I didn't even know that.
100 guys close to $1 without going over. You really get.
Didn't Betty White too almost make that?
Yeah,
Anyways.
yeah.
So we're doing vision boards on the 27th. This is huge. It's to save the date. It's a month away, but it is that time of year, and magic stuff happens with this. And we have Pi Day coming on November 18th. Hiding, hiding, hiding.
The reason why it's on Saturday is because we ordered so many pies, Costco literally couldn't do it on Tuesday. They told us
What?
It's not an option.
Yeah, we ordered too many pies.
Broke Costco.
We broke Costco.
Literally.
So what day are we doing it?
Saturday the 18th.
Saturday. the
Everybody's
18th.
running. Uh-oh. I'll be there.
And then we do have the holiday party December 1st already, Friday, December 1st at 6. So at St. Kate, the Arts Hotel. So I mean, we're getting our stuff together, which is awesome. I think that's it. And then in 2027, save the date.
Actually, it's good.
Thank you.
Denver for
Yeah,
so I really want to stay.
Yeah, or that.
I literally almost said it. I was like, yep, yes.
Great job with that.
Impressive computer problems.
And I, she didn't say, oh, yeah, 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 but, you know, that kind of.